Now let's head to South Africa to meet an inspiring woman fighting water pollution. Claire Molat and her organization Biomimicry have created an innovative hydro management project in the suburbs of Stellenbosch, where water is a major issue. The living gutter system will not only improve the lives of the people there, it's also a unique example of how to cope with wastewater in an environmentally friendly fashion.
It's been a rough journey for Claire Molat. The ecologist is on her way to Langrog, an illegal settlement near Stellenbosch in South Africa. She's in charge of a very special environmental project.
This is where our pilot project is for the ecological treatment of greywater. And behind us we have some of the trees that we've recently planted.
More than 6,000 people live in the settlement. In the past, people here disposed of wastewater using a rudimentary pipe. The water is full of E. coli bacteria, and in some places it flowed directly into the street. It's a danger to the nearby river's ecological system and for the youngest members of the settlement, according to Community Liaison Officer Solomon Sonzi.
Children will go to the clinic because they're of the rashes and diarrhea as well, because there were loads of children who has stomach aches and all that, you know.
To prevent that from happening, Claire and her team are building a wastewater system in parts of the settlement. So-called disposal points were set up where the water could best be filtered. The residents have helped to install new drains. The project is being financed by the provincial government. The second step was to plant trees. Trees filter the water. So-called filter pits were set up where the trees use the wastewater directly.
So the wastewater contains a lot of phosphates, and trees love those and other nutrients to grow. So they absorb it, they take it in from the water that's coming in the pipe below. The soil around them contains biochar, which is high in carbon. It basically creates the right bed for them to grow in, and also surfaces for other bacteria.
Claire Molat and her team have built 13 of the tree filter pits. The advantage is that the system is inexpensive and doesn't need electricity. The second part of the pilot project is being built on the edge of the settlement near the sports field. Langrog's wastewater will travel through underground pipes into another natural filter system, like in this model. A cascade of pores containing plants, animals, fungus and microorganisms will purify the water. Molat's colleague Natasha Wrightford has already built an eco-machine in her own garden.
So actually in this little model over here, the water's flowing really quickly. In reality, it would be more or less just dripping, and by the time the water leaves the system, it is free of nutrient load or food. The food's been taken out and filtered through life forms.
The process of copying nature's natural processes is called biomimicry.
It is the first time that biomimicry thinking and biomimicry methodology has been applied to an informal settlement in Africa. So what we're really doing is trying to prove the bioremediation technology.
The filtered water isn't clean enough to drink, but it can be used to irrigate fields. For Langrog, this project means progress. It's the same for other settlements like these in South Africa.
Our sun is a powerhouse, literally said. Did you know, NT, that in around 80 minutes, the sunlight that touches the earth could power the world's electricity for a year?
Really amazing, because the solar power is clean, free and available every single day. It will help so many people who are off-grid to enjoy a better livelihood. So everything is awesome until the hours pass, evening comes and the sun goes down. This is when our ability to generate electricity from solar panels stops. But what if it's possible to store these energy so that it can be used even when the sun isn't shining? Well, a German company called Sonnen has good news for you. See what they're working on.
On a glorious sunny day in southern Germany, these solar panels generate lots of electricity. But it's not always like this. That's why the Pfluger family recently bought a battery system to store any surplus solar energy.
Today we fed around 14 kilowatt hours into the system, but we used a little over 40.
That's because it's laundry day. All the machines use solar power. But even when it's raining, the family can wash and cook. Thanks to the storage system, they're not governed by the weather or the time of day.
I think it's really great. I can use my washing machine when I want. I produce my own electricity and I'm doing something good for the environment.
When there isn't enough power left in the battery, Thomas Pfluger can buy electricity from members of a group called the Sonnencommunity. Their storage systems are digitally networked. Someone somewhere usually has a bit to spare, and much cheaper than at standard rates.
Our primary concern isn't cost. It's more about the idea behind it. You have lots of these small power generators, and you share the electricity within the community. It's an exchange. And that's a really great vision, a great concept.
The Sonnencompany started dealing in solar storage systems 7 years ago. So far, they've installed more than 20,000. No other company sells more in Europe. But Sonnen doesn't just sell batteries. Homeowners without their own solar power facilities can still participate by joining what's known as the city system. Membership costs around €4,000. That gets you some electricity. The rest you can buy from Sonnen's community network. The demand for power storage devices is growing globally. Besides Europe, Sonnen now also delivers to the US and Australia. Africa is another potentially big market.
You'd need robust devices for Africa. That would be one of the main challenges. They'd have to withstand certain weather conditions, like high temperatures, the outdoor conditions there. And there are things like purchasing power and profitability. So there's still some work to be done before we can offer them the right solutions. But I think it'll happen soon.
The southern German village of Wildpolsried has just over 2,500 residents, including the Pflugers. And together, they produce 7 times more electricity than they use. There are solar panels everywhere here. On days with extensive periods of sunshine, Thomas Pfluger can even charge up the family's electric car with renewable energy.
The photovoltaics produce so much power. It's more than we can use around the house, and even more than it takes to charge the batteries. This spare power, as you could call it, I use that to charge the car.
So far, the family hasn't had a single day without power, even in winter when the roofs are covered in snow. Someone from the community is always there to step in.
And that's all that we had for you on this edition of Eco at Africa. And NT, by the way, it's not just Lagos that's going through change of weather, you know, climate change. In Nairobi recently, our temperatures went as low as 4 degrees. So you can almost tell we almost had snow in Kenya. My name is Joy Doreen Bira. Thank you all for watching.
Joy, I do hope you have some warm clothes stored up. The effects of climate change have rendered our weather almost unpredictable. But hey, to you, our viewers, if you have any stories of innovations in green technology and environmental sustainability to tell, don't hesitate to send us a mail or visit our social media sites and have your say. See you next time, and thanks for watching Eco at Africa. Bye-bye.